Body Whispering, Chapter 3. Listening and talking to your body. Take a moment to think about how your relationship with your body began, way back in your early childhood. Specifically, recall how mealtimes were for you growing up. Who decided when you ate? Who decided what you ate? Who decided how much you ate? Did your parents let you bypass your vegetables and head straight for dessert? What happened if you were full, but you hadn't eaten everything? What happened if you were hungry outside mealtimes? Was food used as reward for being good or a pacifier when you were being too much? Was clearing your plate taken as a mark of respect to your parents, while also being a sign of compassion to children around the world less fortunate than you? If you're nodding along to any of these, please know that you were not alone. Why we stop listening to our bodies? Restrictions and rules around food and commonplace is in most families. Usually, it's all very well-meaning, but it's rare that someone stops to think about the message it sends to kids, which is pretty much this: listen to how other people think you should nourish your body rather than trust that your body knows intuitively what nourishment it requires. Interestingly, without demands and expectations placed on them, children behave very differently around food. You'll see that they graze. They'll eat a little and then they'll go and play. Then they'll come back, then they'll eat some more, and then they'll go and play. And so on. The only thing that limits kids for this natural ebb and flow is the adult's rigid point of view that they have to do mealtimes and eating in a certain way. What if eating more than you need, or eating what your body has no interest in consuming, are just two of the ways you may have been practiced out of listening to what your body is trying to tell you? What if there are dozens more? Or maybe more, like 1,000 more? Who are you choosing for? Consider this. When you get dressed in the morning and you're there in front of your closet, selecting your outfit for the day, who are you choosing for? Are you choosing for you? Or are you choosing with others in mind? Do you factor in what other people will think of what you're wearing when you make your choice? Perhaps the people at work, or your partner, or your mom. And then do you get all caught up in what you think you should wear and disregard what you would like to wear? More specifically, do you disregard what your body would like to wear? Because yes, your body absolutely has a point of view about the clothes you put on it. We just never thought of asking. Why is that? Well, in exactly the same way that we grew up receiving messages about what food we should consume, we were also inundated with opinions and points of view about what clothes were acceptable and appropriate for us to wear. Think about it. Did you ever get a disapproving look from your parents for an outfit you chose as a teenager? And what about now? If you're like a lot of the people I know and work with, chances are you still get those side eyes or thinly veiled criticisms at family get-togethers about your appearance. Oh, that's an interesting look, honey. Is that dress actually your size? How would you describe that color? Other people's unsolicited opinions are fired at us, directly or indirectly, every moment of the day. Think about the media. Those magazines and online articles are awash with advice about what to wear and what not to wear, what's hot in this season, what's not. After any high-profile award ceremony, you'll find a dissection of the outfits worn on the red carpet. Some will be celebrated, others mocked. Why am I talking about all this? Well, think about all of those judgments and points of view, just about the garments we put on our bodies. We soak it all up and never once stop to ask what our bodies require. Your body's awareness doesn't end at matters relating to food and clothes. It also has awareness about the activities it likes to participate in, who it likes to be around, and who it desires to get intimate with. Whenever we keep the volume turned up on the judgments, points of view, and conclusions of others, and turn the volume down of our own bodies, we keep ourselves separate from its incredible and gentle awareness about everything. What does your body have to do to get your attention? What happens when we don't listen to our bodies? When you're separate from your body and out of practice with the energetic language it uses, it simply has to find another way to tell you what it needs to tell you. This is why the body creates stiffness, pain, and disease, all as a way of getting our attention, as a way to communicate whatever awareness we're not listening to. Now, we're going to explore this a lot more as we go through the book, but just take a second to think about this. There's almost a sadness to it. Our bodies are so giving. Just think about what they do for us each and every day. They take us from A to B to Z. They digest food, fight bugs, circulate blood and oxygen. They're pretty much running the whole physical show. And here we are, so oblivious that it's got to the stage where pain and stiffness are the only ways they can reach out to us. The amazing and world-shifting news is that you can develop a relationship with your body today, starting right now if you choose. This relationship can be nurtured and built upon with ease, and the whole process will contribute to your life, your living, and your business and practice. Ready to unlock some doors right now? Shall we use the clearing statement? It really is the quickest way I've ever found to change anything and everything. This one is focused on destroying and on creating all those right and wrong points of view about what your body needs or desires. Here it is. Read it and notice the energy it conjures. Everything you've done to impose there's a right or wrong point of view about eating, about supplementation, about clothes, about all the other things that your body desires or doesn't, whether it's an amount of sleep you've decided your body needs to have, whether it's a particular food it needs to eat. Will you destroy and uncreate it now, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. How was that? You might want to run it a couple of times and just notice what happens to the energy that comes up. Notice how it expands as if more space appears around it. That's you clearing your limiting points of view. Go you. We can talk for hours and we will move forward. Or we can use the clearing statement and move mountains. Unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, the basis of all disease. All disease, whether it's physical or psychological, whether it presents itself as pain, illness, tiredness, or malaise, is a result of one or both of these two states, unconsciousness and anti-consciousness. And judgment is a crucial ingredient in both of those states. We're going to talk more about the effects of judgment throughout the book, particularly in chapter 5. I often refer to judgment as a killer. It's a killer of possibility and of change. If we go back to the notion that consciousness is where everything exists and nothing is judged, and where nothing is made right and nothing is made wrong, then we can get a little closer to understanding unconsciousness and anti-consciousness. Let's continue to unpick and unpack what they are and how they relate to disease. Unconsciousness is akin to awareness, to an awareness. It's how we live when we haven't realized our capacity for greatness, and when we haven't recognized our capacity to see through the lies of the reality we've been told. We're not ready or willing to see the full spectrum of possibilities that are available to us. We live in a narrow way, governed and blinded by judgment. Anti-consciousness is similar in the way that judgment is what fuels it, and it's similar if the way that the person doing anti-consciousness is closed off to how incredible their life could be, but unlike unconsciousness, there's an element of choice involved. It's akin to self-sabotage. Someone who's anti-conscious, for whatever reason, has made a decision to undo or step away from consciousness, even though they know on some level that doing so will limit them personally. It's important to know that anti-consciousness can also be directed at others. Again, it often gets fired in the form of judgment, and when you realize this, you get wise to other people's judgments, invading your world and your being. Gratefully, we can be armed and ready. Or more accurately, we can be aware of anti-consciousness, and that's where our power lies. When we're aware and conscious ourselves, we become impermeable to other people's judgments, in general, anti-consciousness. And here's the great part. Our bodies become a lot lighter and a lot healthier and way happier. Pain, stiffness, disease, it's all a result of unconsciousness and anti-consciousness. When you start to get that, you can start using this awareness to create more space in your body and in the bodies of others. Ready for the science bit? Ellipticals. Your cells, when they are healthy, are spherical in structure. As spheres, they are open and absorbent. As spheres, they do what they need to do to keep us highly functioning and free from disease, and they do it well. In recent years, scientists have covered that spherical structure of a cell is jeopardized and changed by thoughts, feelings, and emotions. Our judgments and points of view can actually alter the energetic matrix of a cell, from spherical to elliptical, and there's the key. An elliptical cell structure is, scientists say, the basis for disease. This includes stiffness, pain, and any other physical presentations, and any psychological presentations too. Do you get the magnitude of that? The judgments we harbor, whether they are ours or given to us, we'll go into that more deeply later in the book, actually get locked into our cells, into our bodies, and manifest as disease. Judgment locks our bodies up. The good news is we have the keys to unlock our bodies and much more. Our remedy is always, always, always consciousness. With consciousness, you bring yourself and the people you work on to the awareness of something, and in taking away the element of judgment, you free them, literally free them from whatever has been holding them back. Shoulder pain, back pain, tiredness, lethargy, depression, the list is endless. In consciousness, dynamic changes occur. When you choose consciousness for you, you not only change your own life, but you also get to offer it as an option to the people you work with and on. And when you couple consciousness with a clearing statement, your capacity to empower people to dissolve any unconsciousness and anti-consciousness that they've locked into their cells, their body, and their life is limitless. What happens when we do listen to our bodies? When you start listening and talking to your bodies, your own and others, you move away from predicting, assuming, and judging what they require. You start listening with openness and without any fixed points of view or judgments. Your awareness accelerates. There's an easy alertness to how you are with people. You gain insights in a flash that talking and thinking may never have led you to. As your relationship with your body develops, you'll undo so much that has been causing you pain and keeping you static. If you're practicing healer, your clients will love coming to you because you're contributing phenomenal ways to their life and living. And when you're that effective, word can help but spread. Your clients will tell anyone who listens how awesome you are and how they can schedule an appointment with you. In short, you become a beacon to the people around you. Not just your clients, but also your family, your friends, and anyone you interact with. At Access, we realized a long time ago that consciousness is contagious. Let's use this to our advantage and create an epidemic of awareness. Are you ready to reawaken your natural connection to every molecule around you? To listen with more and more ease? And to unlock doors that have been closed and cemented up for years? Get this. You're already on the path just by reading this book and being open to the ideas within it. You're on your way. Ready to go further? You and your body, developing a communion. For me, the word communion speaks of a sense of connection, which is why I've chosen it here. We're honing and developing that natural and beautiful communion between you, the being, and your physical self, your body. Developing a communion with your body begins with asking your body questions and doing so from an open and present place. And then listening. Sound easy? Sound hard? Wait. In some way, could you know all this already? Is this old news or new news which somehow feels familiar, like pieces of puzzle falling into place? Could it be possible that you've always known that your body has consciousness? And today is the day you can become truly aware of it? Our starting point is asking our body about everything that concerns it, from the food it eats to the clothes it wears to the people it gets intimate with. Are you thinking, so where am I in all of this? You, alert and conscious reader, are an infinite being. You just happen to take form in this particular body or vehicle you occupy right now. If I can be blunt about it, long after your body expires, after it's in the ground or turned to ashes, you, the being, will continue. Recognizing that you are an infinite being is crucial to developing the communion you can have with your body, but acknowledging this is sometimes not easy. Let's explore it a little more. 3 steps to developing a communion with your body. Step 1. Understanding that you are infinite. I'd like to share an exercise with you which is wonderful for getting the sense of this concept of you being an infinite being. I recommend you read it through a couple of times, then take a moment to try it yourself. Begin by expanding 100 miles out in all directions. Close your eyes if you like and expand outwards. It's not your physical body that's expanding, it's your energy, your being. Expand your being out in all directions, 100 miles. Notice that you can do that easily, quickly. When you're there, go a further 100 miles in all directions. Notice that you can. Notice how you can be where you choose to be. Next, go 1,000 miles past that. In all directions, notice you're there too. And now go 100,000 miles in all directions. See how infinite you are? How was that? Oftentimes, that exercise results in a beautiful, big, deep breath as you, at last, occupy the space you'd like to occupy as a being. For some of you, this might be the first time you realize you have that capacity. For others, it might have been the 1,000th time. If you're anything like me, it never gets any less awesome. I have to ask, if a being can go out and be that expansive, travel so far in an instant, be that big, could it ever fit inside of a physical body the size of yours? I think not. The notion that we start and end in our physical bodies is one of the most limiting beliefs we're sold. And the worst part is that in thinking we are only as big or small as our bodies, we resent having one because we know somewhere in us that we're huge. Yet we keep pretending that we're not. Now that you've sampled with such ease your capacity as an infinite being, are you ready to really let go of the big one, the limiting belief that you are limited by your body? All the points of view that you're actually limited by your body, rather than you can have the amazingly large space that you as an infinite being are, and still have your body. Will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Everything you've done to pretend that you're only this big, which is an invalidation of your being, which also causes you to resent your body and be angry with your body, as though it's your body's fault that you choose to pretend you're only this big. Will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. Run those screens and take a beautiful, deep breath. You are infinite and as big as you want to be. You have instant access to an astonishing sense of space, the kind of openness that allows you to breathe easily and freely. You can ask to be that space in any moment of any day. What does this mean for your body? When you play with the idea that your body is your vehicle for this lifetime, you will get to have a connection to it, but the space of your being is no longer limited by it. You can lose any underlying resentments you had towards your body when you felt captive in it. And from the space of your being, you can contribute to your body in phenomenal ways. How? Well, what if you could reach out right now across the planet? You did it a couple of pages ago. You can do it whenever you choose. It might seem like a bizarre concept at first, but if you could reach all the way across the planet and tap into every mountain, every tree, every stream, every river, every ocean, every bird, what would that be like? How much peace would it bring your body? How much vitality, strength, and healing would that bring to your body? And what if you were to access all of what? While you were working of people's bodies? What would be possible then? Step 2. Start asking, start listening. Once you accept that you are an infinite being in a temporary physical body, a body which is conscious and aware and would like to be in harmony with you, you get closer to the idea that your body eats, you as being don't eat. Your body wears clothes, you as being don't wear clothes. Your body has sex, you as being don't. Well, hopefully you're there too. This might feel a lot to take in. Don't worry. Don't judge yourself if it's not feeling light or right for you just yet. If you can begin to contemplate the idea that your body has its own points of view, which so far you may not have asked for now, that is awesome. If you'd like more clarity with it, run this. Everything that doesn't allow you to begin to ask your body for everything that concerns it, will you destroy and uncreate it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. When it comes to asking your body what it requires, I recommend you start with something really simple, such as food. Remember, your body eats, you don't, so it makes sense to inquire. Let's say you are at breakfast. You're in your house and you walk into the kitchen, and instead of automatically reaching for your usual breakfast item, what if instead you took a moment to ask, body, what would you like to eat? Then be open, be present, and listen. Ask again, body, what would you like to eat? What do you sense? What are you picking up? Your body might want eggs or bacon or cheese or fruit or all of the above or none of the above. Your body might not be hungry yet. You don't have to autopilot it just because it's a conventional or accepted mealtime. You don't have to restrict yourself to traditional breakfast items either. What if your body would like that leftover pasta or ice cream or pasta and ice cream? Would it be okay to give that to your body at 8 a.m.? There's only one way to find out, and there are no rights and no wrongs here, only interesting choices. And cold pasta and ice cream, it definitely is an interesting breakfast choice. Don't expect yourself to get it right or perfect immediately. Imagine you wanted to go from having never run a day in your life to participating in a marathon. Would you just get up and run 27 miles, or would you practice first? It's the same here, only it's a lot easier. It's through practice that you'll start to pick up the energetic insistence your body has. Next, try it with clothes. When you're starting the day, standing front of the closet and say, "Body, what would you like to wear today?" Again, be present, be open, and listen. You might find that what your body wants to wear is the last thing you would have chosen to wear if you hadn't asked. You might find yourself reaching into some dark corner of your closet for something you haven't worn in years. And when you put it on and look in the mirror, it lights you up. It lights your body up. Why? Because that's the thing your body wants to wear. When you wear what your body wants to wear, you keep that light on all day. You feel alive all day. People will give you more compliments than you've ever gotten before. Why is there a difference between what you, the being, might choose to wear and what your body might choose to wear? Simply, what you think and choose is based on your judgments, your projections, your expectations, and your points of view about what's right and what's wrong. Your body brings none of that to the table. Your body could have totally different points of view and insights, and you'll never know unless you ask. Now, if you're not perfect doing this the first time, or the second time, or the 10th time, or the 100th time, please don't make yourself wrong. You're developing a completely new relationship, a completely new connection with your body that you haven't had before. Well, you did have it, but like the rest of us, you weren't tough to nurture it. So it was out of reach for a while. As well as asking your body what it would like to eat and wear, you can also ask, who would you like to have sex with? What would you like to do today? What kind of movement would you like to do? Is it time to start having fun breathing new life into this connection? Step 3. Be patient. Have you ever had a really good friend? One who felt a deep and joyful connection with? One of those friendships where you can totally be who you are, no masks, no playing a part that doesn't suit you. Just you get to be you. If you were to lose touch with that friend, imagine reconnecting. Imagine calling them up and the years and the distance just melting away and feeling connected again to someone who was such a contribution to you. It might happen instantly, or it might take a little warming up. And it's the same with your body. The time and effort to start to rebuild the connection is so minimal compared to the phenomenal results and rewards you will receive. And when you take these tools into the way you practice, you can expect to create imaginable change. You pass the 3 steps we just explored on to your clients. They'll start to create a connection with their bodies and a oneness where there's just no room for judgment. You can guide them as they bring their body back into the fold of their life and their living, allowing you to facilitate incredibly healing and change for them. My beautiful friends, the adventure has truly begun. Are you ready to commit to building a communion with your body? For the next 3 days, would you be willing to ask your body for its point of view about everything that concerns it? Can you acknowledge that your body knows what it requires and what it desires? The beautiful thing here is that your relationship with your body is a natural part of you, and you're simply reawakening it. It's as natural as breathing. Soon enough, you'll be listening and talking to your body without thinking about it and wondering how the two of you ever lost touch.